Ladies and gentlemen, after hours of my own personal research, I have come to the conclusion that the number one thing that is driving up the cost of your grocery bill is not inflation or supply chains, but it is psychology. You see, there is so much psychology that goes into your grocery shopping experience, from the aisle length to the rotisserie chicken placement to the wet lettuce. And I know for a fact that at some point in your grocery shopping career, you've thought, why is all this lettuce so damn wet? Well, there's a logical reason for that. And in this video, I'm gonna change the way that you look at grocery stores for the rest of your life. From here on out, whenever you go in a grocery store, you're gonna be thinking about me. And I'm gonna show you 15 psychological tricks that grocery stores use to get you to buy more stuff. And so let's begin our journey, just like how any grocery journey begins, through the entrance-only front door. Now, most grocery stores have two doors. The entrance door guiding you to the products, and the exit door right after checkout. In some grocery stores, go so far as having a barrier preventing you from exiting the entrance door. It's almost like they're trying to lock you in. Well, they actually are, because when you have these two separate doors, if you can't find the product that you want, you have to walk through the checkout aisles with no products in order to leave the store. And unless you're a seasoned shoplifter, it's a bit uncomfortable to do this. Nobody likes to walk through the checkout aisles empty-handed. And these two doors make you feel obligated to buy something. But let's say you do buy something. Once you enter the grocery store, you're greeted by the healthy, colorful produce upon arrival. Why is it that every grocery store in the world has this exciting, colorful display of healthy produce right at their front door? Well, it sets the stage for your grocery shopping experience, and you start loading up your cart with all this healthy produce. And deep down in your psyche, you're praising yourself for making all these healthy decisions, and because of that, you're more inclined to treat yourself to some less healthy food, like ice cream or Oreos. You got that immediate dopamine hit getting the healthy produce that getting a pack of Oreos don't seem so bad. I got myself the vegetables. What's so wrong with a pack of Oreos? But before you leave that produce section, you hear a noise. Shh! They're misting the produce. Every few minutes in the produce section, the broccoli, zucchini, and lettuce get a slight mist of water. Shh! And why are they doing this? Well, most people would say because it keeps the produce fresh. However, there's something much more mischievous going on. Something the grocery industry doesn't want you to know when they mist the vegetables. It absorbs some water and has some water on it, which makes it 5 to 15% heavier. And in America, produce is charged by the weight. So the wetter the lettuce, the higher the profit margins for the grocery store industry. But once you leave the produce section, you start looking for the essentials. However, you notice the essentials are in the back. No matter where you go in the world, the layout of the grocery store is always the same. You have the produce section right at the entrance, but the essential items like bread, meat, eggs, and dairy are always located in the back of the store. And they're essential items. Why place them in the back? Well, there's something mischievous going on. When you go to get these essential items, you walk past the produce alongside the aisles to reach the essentials. And maybe, just maybe, on your journey, you'll fill your cart with some things you found along the way. Stuff you never planned on buying. However, the essentials aren't just in the back. The essentials are scattered throughout the store. As I said, the essentials are always in the back, but they're all not right next to each other. The bread is in one corner of the store. The meats are in the back middle. The dairy and eggs are at the other corner of the store. You're gonna have to walk miles around that store to get those essentials, and maybe, Just maybe on your journey getting these essential items, you'll find some other treats along the way. Stuff that you never planned on buying. And although you're not walking through the aisles, you're still tempted by the Endcap Traps. Now, I'm sure you already know this, but at the end of each aisle is something called an end cap. And end caps are food displays that might have Hot Pockets, giant bags of M&Ms, or Lay's chips. Snacks, something that doesn't require much effort on your part. And maybe, just maybe, when you pass these end caps, you'll be tempted to get yourself a box of Hot Pockets. You just grab and go, but you grab things you never planned on getting. But let's say you do decide to do a big shopping trip. Well, then you enter the extremely long aisles. At least in America, where everything is big, you'll notice that the aisles in the grocery store are extremely long. And why do they make them so long? Well, if we've learned anything up to this point in the video, it's that something mischievous is going on. The longer the aisles, the more products you're exposed to, which might end up in your shopping cart. And not only are the aisles long, but the ingredients are spread out. Have you ever been to the grocery store trying to get all these ingredients for a recipe and thought to yourself, they must be trying to make this hard? Because the tomato sauce is here, the dried oregano is here, the pasta is here, and the cheese is here. These ingredients always go together. Why don't they put them next to each other? Well, the more you walk around the store, the more products you're exposed to. Products that might end up in your shopping cart. But as you're walking through the store looking for the ingredients, you notice something. What's that? Yummy smelling food around the store. Grocery stores strategically place yummy smelling foods everywhere around the store. Freshly baked treats near the bakery, desserts in the front, and rotisserie chicken just about everywhere. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, the second you get a whiff of that rotisserie chicken, there ain't no going back, because you start to think to yourself, man, rotisserie chicken sounds so easy instead of making this lasagna. And so you get a rotisserie chicken and put it in your cart, along with a few boxes of macaroni and cheese. And then you forgot what you were looking for. Focus, Augustine, focus. And you start scanning the shelves looking for the items, and you notice the expensive items are at eye level. Whenever you look at a shelf at a grocery store, 99% of the time, you'll see the cheaper generic stuff at the bottom or the top of the shelf, and the expensive brand name items at eye level. And there's a saying in the grocery industry that goes, eye level is buy level. And as silly as it sounds, most customers aren't going to scan the entire shelf trying to find the cheapest item, but they're just going to go for what they see first at eye level, defaulting them to the expensive items. And if you have kids, you might notice kids' food is at kids' reach. Now, I don't know as much about kids as you parents out there, but one thing I do know about kids is that when you compare them to adults, they're a lot smaller. I mean, if you stuck a fully grown adult and a kid side by side, the kid is half, sometimes a third of the height of the fully grown adult. And when you're a short kid, you're unable to reach the top shelves. And grocery stores know this, which is why kids' food like Trix, Gushers, and Capri Sun are always on the lower shelves so the kids can grab them. And then they can bring them to their parents and say, please, 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 please. And to avoid a grocery store meltdown, the parents agree and put some kid snacks in their cart. And you continue on your journey, but finding all these ingredients seems more difficult than ever because the store layout is forever changing. Let's say you go to the grocery store and plan to just get one jar of pasta sauce, and you say to yourself, this is my grocery store, I know where the pasta sauce is, I'm only getting the pasta sauce Be strong, El Augustine. And you walk through the store straight to the pasta sauce aisle. But then you realize it's not the pasta sauce aisle anymore. It's the peanut butter aisle. The layout has changed, and you think, where's the pasta sauce now? Stay strong, stay strong. But then you remember all of a sudden, I'm almost out of peanut butter. Some of this candy looks good. And you add it to your cart, along with the pasta sauce whenever you find it. Grocery stores never stop changing their layout because they don't want you to ever be too comfortable and know where the products are. And they want you to get your steps in. And you know what else isn't consistent at the grocery store? These unit price riddles. If you want to find the cheapest price for an item, the best way to do it is to look at these unit prices next to the price tag. But as we keep saying over and over and over, the grocery store ain't trying to make it easy on us, because you start to compare the prices and you notice that one unit price is per ounce, another is per sheet, and another is per pound. And you think, I can't tell which one is the cheapest. They're all measured differently, and so you just grab one, which turns out to be the most expensive item. And finally, once you go through all that and you have your cart full of stuff, you now head off to the narrow checkout aisles. As we've seen, the aisles for shopping at the grocery store are very long and very wide. It's comfortable to push your cart through them. You can breathe, smell that rotisserie chicken. But it stops being comfortable once you reach the checkout aisles, which are very short and very narrow. And you're standing in this narrow line with your cart looking at all your stuff thinking, I didn't plan on buying half of this stuff. I ought to put some of it back. But the line is so narrow that the only way you can get out of it is that if everyone moves out of your way behind you. And so you're unable to get out of line. You're locked in. The grocery store gotcha, checkmate. And with all this stress and sense of feeling defeated, you look to your right and you notice the candy and magazines. Once the cashier starts ringing you up and you see the bill increasing, you think to yourself, what's another $5 for a candy bar and some tabloids? And you put it on the conveyor belt. And the cashier rings it up, hands it to you and says, it's gonna be $150. And another win in the books for the grocery store. And I hate to break it to you, ladies and gentlemen, but the grocery store always wins. It's an unwinnable fight. Sure, you can try to be rational, make a list and stick to it, but once you get a smell of that fresh rotisserie chicken, all bets are off, because no human being can overcome the temptations at the grocery store. And with that, muchas gracias, que tenga un buen día. Video 152, no vemos, chico.